Hey, welcome everybody to the special Tuesday night presentation of the Bump Card. My name is Ron Pruitt. It brings me great pleasure to introduce you to somebody this evening that's he's a person in our company that's doing quite well. He's moving quite quickly, and I think one of those reasons is he happens to have a different perspective on what the Bump Card is. And you know, we're always looking for healthy information, healthy perspectives. Different people do different things, but we always go with something that leads to success. And because if it's duplicatable, we want that to happen for everybody. But I want to tell you a little bit about this guy. I've known him for a little bit. I can tell you he's been around for a little bit in the industry. He's been master distributor. He's done all these things that we talk about. But the most important thing I want to tell you about this guy that I know already, he's as real as they come. He's honest. I mean, he knows how to have fun. He knows how to give you information. And he has a passion and a burning desire to take this thing and make it happen. I mean, this I know about this guy already. So it gives me great pleasure to be able to introduce somebody that I've been looking forward to this now since Wednesday last week. And I want to tell you something about Wednesday last week. We have this thing called Strive for Five. If you don't know what Strive for Five is, that means once you put 5 people in your business, whether it be customers or affiliates, you get to come into a private group called Strive for Five. This man unleashed his passion on the Strive for Five last Wednesday, and I've been chomping at the bit to get him on here to be able to tell his perspective. And here we are. So let me do something right quick. Let me give this guy an introduction he deserves. Guys, I want you to get your pen and paper handy. I want you to please put down your radios, your TVs, all these things. Just be present for this, because this could change the way you think about the Bump Card. Matter of fact, I know it will. So without further ado, Mr. Chas Smith, you have the floor, sir.
All right. I sincerely appreciate you, Ron. That's my big bro right there. I told Ron earlier today, Ryan gave me an education on baseball not too long ago. And he taught me what about chin music was. He was like, you get too close, you crowding that plate looking for, you know, that advantage. They're going to hit you with some chin music, and that chin music will wake you up and make you present as to what's going on at that plate. Because that chin music is a fastball whizzing about 3 inches away from your chin. And if you got a 90-mile-an-hour baseball coming at you 3 inches away from your chin, that's going to wake you up to what's going on, folks. That's really all I'm here today, is to give you some chin music. Now, as Ron said, I've been experienced in this industry and all of that. I don't even want to get into all of that type of stuff, really, because that is irrelevant to what we have here. The reason that's irrelevant to what we have here, folks, and let me see real quick. Hold on one. All right. The reason that's irrelevant to what we have here, folks, is because you don't have to be an experienced networker to capitalize on what we have, to really communicate the message and all that type of stuff. Normally, when you're getting a network marketing companies or direct sales situation, the better salesperson you are, the better off you are in that particular business. But that is not the case here, because the worst thing you can do is sell this beautiful little thing that we have here, folks. Between this and this ring right here that I keep on me all the time. I love my ring, Ron. Thank you very much for educating me on the value of this thing. But you really don't want to sell this, folks. All you have to do is be honest with people about what this is. Don't sell, you want to tell people. So when it comes to introducing people to the Bump Card, you want to just give them the same courtesy that you would want if somebody were introducing something to you. Just tell the facts. Tell the truth. That's all you have to do. So basically, when I'm doing stuff, I took a couple of notes here. When you're introducing someone to the card, all it is, look, here's the card. Here's how the card works. You have an online portal to the card. You can tap people, bump people's phones and everything else. You just give them the basic facts. You don't sit there and be like, you know, look like the price is right. Isn't it shiny? You know what I'm saying? You have to do all that type of stuff. All you're doing is letting them know the truth. So here's the card. Here's the back office that you get with the card. Here's how the portal works. These are the different things you can do with the card, even in sharing the price. Sometimes it comes time to sharing that price and we start to get hesitant with it because we don't want to, well, you know, it's $49 a month, but. And then you want to start getting into all the different things to quickly buffer and hide the price of the card or explain the price of the card, folks. You don't have to do any of that, because if you point out the value of what this is, there isn't any more explanation necessary. So here's how the card, here's what the card is, here's how the card works. Then from there, it's pretty much, do you want it or not? The reason I say do you want it or not, folks, because it really comes down to what this call was all about. And this call is all about having confidence in what you're doing. Because if you're delivering the message and the message is the facts, all you have to do is have confidence in the message that you're delivering. Here's why you should have confidence in what you're delivering. This piece of plastic right here that we are affectionately calling the bump card is a bridge to something phenomenal. And this is what I started realizing about what this particular product is. Now, I'm a financial strategist. I help entrepreneurs grow their business. So when this came to me, it was simple. Okay, this is something I can use to help entrepreneurs that I work with grow their business. But it became quickly more than that because I started understanding the importance of having a digital footprint. I remember a few years ago in my quest to understand social media, I was watching, you're digging in, watching webinars, things like that. And I saw a gentleman speaking to a room of about 150, 200 people, and he was talking about the progression of social media and how it went from MySpace, and MySpace was literally just that. This guy came up with an idea of providing people with a space online to express themselves. And then Facebook came along because Facebook was an upgrade from MySpace, but it's really just a space online to express yourself. So now Facebook has their rules about what they do, and you have the things that you're used to expressing on Facebook. And then you turn around and you tie Instagram into it, and you can express yourself through pictures and videos on Instagram. That's that platform. And then Twitter, if you got something quick you want to say and catchy, you can use that platform. But really what it is you're coming down to these different platforms that are just allowing you to express yourself online. And the gentleman was talking about what is coming down to is everybody is going to eventually have their own personal websites for the exact same reason that a company has a website. They have their website, so you don't call up that company, hi, I'm Chase, tell me about yourself. Well, I go to the website, and then call us with questions. That's more or less how it works, folks. But all of these companies are trying to find the right digital footprint for everybody to engage in, but it's really coming down to everybody having their own websites. Now, the QR code on the back of here. The QR code is something that was developed by Toyota, long story short, storing information. They realized it was way better than barcodes, came into the world. People started using QR codes for whatever they could use QR codes for. So QR codes and digital landing pages are technologies that are already out there. There is no denying that. There is no whatever. I've actually had a digital landing page probably for about a year and a half, but I got it, set it up, but I never really used it because one, it wasn't nearly as robust as this, but two, directing people to it just wasn't natural because I'm used to handing out a business card. So now I got a business card that has a QR code. So now I'm giving somebody a piece of paper saying, okay, well, scan the QR code. Well, what's that? Oh, well, it's this thing. You don't have a QR code reader on your phone? Well, all right, well, just look at my website. And, and that's pretty much what it came down to. But there isn't a natural transition going from your typical business card to a QR code. That's just too big a leap psychologically for people to really understand and take advantage of. But this right here, folks, is a natural bridge going from giving someone a piece of paper to say, here's a piece of paper with some stuff on it that I want you to go look at, versus taking people directly to the information you want them to look at. And if you understand that, you see that this opportunity is really priceless, because the bump card has managed to do what these companies have been figuring out different ways to do. And that's where the popularity of the QR code comes in. Now, one of the things I like when I was talking to Ron and he was explaining to me about how the bump card works, he was like, we have the QR code on the back, but the QR code isn't cutting edge for what we're doing. The QR code is like, it's for the slow people. You know what I'm saying? But for those that really just kind of locked into that, yeah, we'll help them out, catch up to us. So we do it as an added feature. But this right here and the capability of the card is what it's all about. Because like I said, you're going from handing someone a piece of paper that says, go to this information, to taking them directly to the information that you want them to see. Now, A couple reasons that's important. The first reason that's important is because if you're taking people directly to the information, then you're seeing there's no need for these anymore. We're going through the digitization of business cards, folks. And every time the digital revolution hits something, it completely changes that industry. So to think that we are going to continue to hand out pieces of paper, especially in this COVID environment that we live in, that's just the beginning. And that is going to be the way to share information. Just doesn't make sense when you have something as beautiful as this and you're taking them directly to the information. And folks, we're trying to convince people that it's a good idea. You don't have to convince someone that this is a good idea if you simply show them what you get. Take them to your bump card, let them see it. If it's a matter of showing them the bump card back office, then that, but you're just showing them what they get, and it doesn't make sense to keep one of these. Now, with the selling part, we're trying to go out and sell what these cards are. Excuse me, what these cards are. There is no selling, folks, because people don't have a choice but to switch over to digital business cards. Like I said, these aren't going to last any longer, folks. And the example that I use to people, and I hope you really can follow me in understanding this example, and Ron teases me about this because this goes back to a project that we worked on, probably about 10, 15 years ago. There was a company, not going to say the name of it, but that company was different because they were ahead of the downloading and the digitization of music. So basically what this company was saying is you should go online and download music instead of using these CDs. But as I said, they were ahead of its time. So it was hard for people to grasp onto it. Then the company ran into some problems, company's going anymore. But it was the concept of the company that really stuck with me. And the reason being is because I was like, okay, this company is locked on to something that is going to happen regardless of what anybody says, what anybody thinks. They don't have a choice. That is where technology is going. So folks, really what you have is your traditional business card is pretty much like a cassette tape. When you had cassette tapes made music portable. So you had your cassette tapes, you could put them in your car, tape deck, all that stuff, but you dealt with the downsides of it. The downsides of it, fast forward, rewind, you gotta count the numbers to get to the song you want. Don't have a favorite song that's number 3 and you wanna listen to it over and over again, you can forget it. You know what I mean? Your tape gets jammed, all that type of stuff. CDs come along and they digitize music and it changes everything. It changes everything because you're no longer fast forward and rewinding or making it difficult to get to the information or the song that you want. You're able to go directly to the information or the song that is that you want. But now, when CDs were introduced to us, they made it seem like we had a choice. They said, hey, you're used to these cassette tapes. We're going to introduce you to this CD, and here's the benefits of it, and maybe you might want to use it. And if you were anything like me, you held on to your cassette tapes. You had hundreds of them. I had the 250 cassette tape holder hook up my back seat. That's a whole other thing. But, you know what I mean? I really wasn't one to jump on these real quick. But it wasn't until further down the line that you realize they decided a long time ago that this was going to replace this. Why, folks? Because this costs $2. This costs 10 cents. And if you're the one responsible for manufacturing this stuff, you're taking the 10 cent over the $2, folks. So now you look at this situation right here. This, you're constantly having to buy new cards and change information and all that, folks. This, once you get it, you have it. So if it comes down to, hey, okay, but I don't pay monthly for this. I pay monthly for this. I'll tell you a story. I got an HP printer not too long ago, probably about a year and a half ago. When I got the printer, they gave me a choice. Mr. Smith, you can buy ink in the store, or you can go ahead and pay this online subscription or this monthly subscription. Anytime anything goes wrong or you're running low on ink, we can tell. We'll go ahead and we'll send you the ink you need. Now, I'm walking out the store buying a printer. I'm like, I'm not paying you monthly for a printer that I've already paid to be able to print stuff, which is why I'm buying a printer. Like, y'all crazy. That don't make any sense. You know what happened? Ink got more expensive. And the subscription that they offer became more and more attractive, folks. Basically, what they were saying is, you're going to pay for us to print monthly for you. You don't have a choice. That's pretty much what they're saying with the digital business card situation. You don't have a choice but to switch to a digitized platform for these. It's a matter of finding the right one. And that's what everybody's been trying to do with these QR codes and these landing pages and stuff like that, that are really a joke compared to what we have, folks. This is where things are going. And this company has come up with the natural bridge to get us there. So when you're sharing this information with people, you're not sharing it in the sense of you hope they take advantage of it or whatever, whatever. You're sharing it with letting them know, look, you got cassette tapes, what you need is CDs. You don't have a choice in the matter. You're eventually going to have to give up those cassette tapes and go to CDs. Now, do you want to wait till you go get a new car and it doesn't have a cassette tape player in it anymore and it only has CD players? Or do you want to do it now? Because if you do it now and you take advantage of what this company offers, folks, you are literally able to get in front of an international revolution that is going to happen. It doesn't matter who feels what about it. So now you're able to take your CDs to all your cassette happy friends, which means you're able to take your digital business card platform to all your traditional business card platform friends and say, this is the new where everything is going. If you do it now, folks, you can capitalize off of the transition because this company was gracious enough to pay for referrals. If you wait till later, you're going to be in line at a Best Buy, getting ready to check out and see a plastic card or something of some kind, and the person behind you is gonna be, you're gonna pick that up and be like, oh, this is interesting. And the person behind you is gonna, you don't want that. That's a fake bump card. Because that's really what it's gonna come down to. It's a fake bump card. We're in a position, folks, to literally define the digital business card industry. You don't have a digital business card, you have a bump card. Just like you don't use glass cleaner, you use Windex. I don't put tire shine on my cars, I use Armor All. If I don't use Armor All, it's still Armor All. And that's just how it is. If people don't say what is ride sharing, people say Uber. Folks, if you catch a Lyft, you're still saying Uber. You're just using the other Uber because Uber is what defines this. We are in a position to define the digital business card revolution. And folks, that is a multi-billion-dollar transition that is happening right out of our wallets. These companies are going to make a killing, taking us from giving these away to showing something like this. And we don't have the opportunity to take advantage of that type of stuff, except if you're involved with 5-point concepts and the bump card. Just like record companies and the music industry, record companies had these. The computer industry came along and said, hey, excuse me, here's this thing, it's called a compact disc, it holds information. Well, whoever, whatever, can take advantage of this, fine, we don't care because you're using the compact disc, so we're gonna, make ours anyway. Music industry comes along and says, wait a minute, does it hold songs? Yes, it does. Well, if this costs $2 to make and that costs 10 cents to make, we have an opportunity here. And they took advantage of that opportunity. If you weren't a record company or something like that, then all you were was you went from buying this to buying this, and the record companies made a whole lot more money off the process. Folks, the exact same thing is getting ready to happen, from going from having a paper business card to a digital business card platform of some kind. And this is the only company that I've seen that makes the transition this easy. So if that transition is happening and these companies are getting ready to make a fortune off of telling us what we're going to use to promote our own business, and this company gives you an opportunity to capitalize off of it, you've got to be kidding. It's a no-brainer. And the last thing I want to point out, the biggest reason this is a no-brainer, folks, is because if you've been involved with direct sales, if you've been involved with direct sales or network marketing or anything like that of any kind, you get involved with these companies And what do these companies tell you to do? Hey, person talking, what is it you want to do with yourself? You know, I have this beauty salon I want to open. I got this idea and I do hair in this salon, but I want to go ahead and open up my own salon because I have ideas about how I want to do it. And you say, you know what? Beautiful. I have something that's going to help you open up your salon. You're like, okay, what? And that person says, okay, if you just sell this coffee, we're gonna make enough money for you to go open up. So while you're doing hair, just tell your customers, give away these free packs of coffee and all that. And you're like, but I don't drink coffee. My customers know I don't drink. Don't worry about that. The coffee's good for you and it's beautiful and whatever, whatever. And now you're trying to turn this person into a coffee salesperson. The industry traditionally tries to get you to become a salesperson of the company or whatever product or service they have. And then they put together this elaborate training system to try to convince you you're not selling. Yes, you are, folks. This, you don't, where's my bump card at? Where's my bump card? That's all right. Y'all know, here it is on my computer. This you don't have to sell. The reason being because what 5-point concepts is telling you about the bump card is you're able to go to someone and say, okay, what is it you want to do with yourself? Well, my dream is to open up my beauty salon. And now you're able to say, okay, you're a hairstylist? Yes, okay. You can generate a second stream of income that is going to help you open up your beauty salon by simply promoting the fact that you do hair more efficiently. You're not becoming a salesperson. All you're doing is promoting what you're already doing more efficiently. But the platform you're choosing literally opens up another income stream because you're not going to be sharing this and bumping people and hitting them with the ring on the phone and talking about it's magic, I'm telling you. And they're like, no, it's not magic. Give me my phone back. How come when I hold my phone, it doesn't do that? And you're laughing and joking and all that type of stuff, but you're striking up a conversation. But really, you're talking about your business, and the conversation is about how you're promoting your business. So by you helping other people do what they want to do, you're able to further your own business along and add an additional income stream. And you're not becoming a coffee salesperson or a tea salesperson or a girdle salesperson, or here's a catalog of stuff you just tell people, no, stop, folks. All that stuff is really the same thing wrapped up in different, however you want to put it, folks. What we have is extra, extra special. And if you tie that to the fact that, as I said, this change is inevitable. Like, let's just be honest with each other. You get these business cards, and let me tell you what happens when I get business cards. You know where they go? Into this thing that sits on my desk right here. And this is already cleaned out. I had about 3 or 4 of these things, different sizes and all of that. And then I remember, think of somebody, and can I find that person's card? I remember the face, but I don't even remember the card they gave me. Then I look at the card and be like, here's a guy with a tree service. Where'd I meet him at? Because I don't want to call him and be like, hey, no, it's the end of that, folks. It's the end of these. I used to love my business cards. I have no problems tearing up these business. Matter of fact, I use my business cards now for doing presentations and tearing them up. That's the new function of my business cards, because that really allows me to get the message to people, folks, because this is the future. If you understand that this transition is inevitable, you're not asking people, start letting them know you don't have a choice but to make this transition. There's nothing you can do about it. And if you use the example, the basic example I use the CDs and the compact or the cassette tape, to go a little further, really driving home. But I'm telling you, when you're presenting it to people, here's the example that you use. You hold your custom bump card up, and I can't wait to get my custom, but you hold your custom bump card up and you hold a regular bump card up, and here's all you say, everybody. Does it make more sense to give somebody a piece of paper telling them where to find your information, which is your social media stuff and your website and all that? Or does it make more sense to take them right to your information? If somebody says, well, I'd rather have the piece of paper that tells them where to go instead of taking them right to where I want them to go. End the conversation, because that person is telling you, is something special about these cassette tapes, and just like the whole idea of fast forward and rewinding really just settles in on me. And I like when my tape gets jammed in my car, because then I got to pull over and get the screwdriver, and you're trying to take all that away from me. Get out of here. I don't want that. Go away with your CD. You got to be kidding. And not only that, but the company has gone an extra step. So if you're looking at your traditional business card being your cassette tape, folks, then you're looking at your digitization of the business card being your CD. This company has gone a step further, because you don't see people walking around with Discman anymore. They don't put CD players in cars anymore, which means people ain't walking around with a bunch of business cards no more. They're saying go from a bunch of business cards to one business card, but this company was like, okay, we understand that's just another step. So we're going to give you the next step. Why we're taking people through? Why? Because you got to hold people's hands sometimes, Ron. They don't quite, they're scared to accept technology for what it is. But you're not going to call a cab and hope the right person shows up, where you can go pick the person you want to show up. You know what I mean? So the company is going a step further and says, you know what? You don't even have to carry a business card with you anymore. Keep your ring. And your ring is the equivalent to having your music on your phone. You don't have to worry about carrying CDs and it's skipping. So you don't have to worry about leaving your one card in your other wallet or your other purse or something like that. Get you a black ring, get you a silver ring, get you a wood grain ring, keep one on, keep one in your car, keep a sturdy, you know what I mean? And then you just put your ring on and you're not worried about business cards. So now where everybody else is running around with cassettes and cassette tapes, learning about disc players, you got your MP3 player on your phone with your cordless headsets and you're laughing at the world. But folks, you get an opportunity to get paid to introduce this platform to people. And like I said, they do not have a choice. Approach it with that confidence. Don't sell, tell, just be honest. Here's what the platform is, and you don't have a choice. Yeah, well, let me think about it. All right, let me know. Like, let that energy come off of you. They're not doing you a favor. You're doing them a favor. Ron, stop me, because I'll keep going. But you understand where I'm going, folks. This is the passion coming out, really. The biggest thing is just share the truth about what this is and let people know. Use that line. Do you want to give someone a piece of paper telling them where to find your information, or do you want to take it directly to them on your phone? Last thing, the way I bump people is this. Don't bump people and just leave the information on their phone, folks, and just bring it up. When you bump people and you open it up, go on there and show them where it says download contact. Hit download contact. Show them how it automatically populates the information into their phone, because it automatically does it. And then where your website is stored, so More Money Movement. So somebody downloads mine, it'll have moremoneymovement.com as one website, but the second website it'll have is my bump card, cksmith.thebumpcard.me. I show that to them and say, if you want to get back to my digital business card, go to where my website is, click that, takes you right back there. And if you're ever inclined to share my information, I just throw that in there as an entrepreneur, make it easy for them. If you're ever inclined to share my information, hit share via text, pull up the text message, type whoever's name in. So by the time you're walking away from them, they have your information on their phone that they're looking through. You've already downloaded it onto their phone. Instead of hoping at some point in time, they stop, and program that information in your phone. And then you show them where to get updated information about you by pointing them right back to your bump card. It's that easy, folks. It's that easy. Don't make it any more difficult. Big Ron, thank you for letting me spew my passion out all on everybody. I feel like I kind of just regurgitated information. I'm just throwing it out there. But folks, I hope you see my passion. My goal is to do exactly what I was saying when I was talking about that person being at the Best Buy checkout. We work together and we understand what this is, and we come together with our ideas, kind of like how he was talking about on the call and everything like that, folks. If we work together and work as a bump card family versus, well, I'm going to try to use my team to get ahead and all of that stuff, this company literally has the potential to have tens of millions of people involved because Facebook has done that. Mark Zucker with the long last name is a multi-billionaire because he's done that, folks. So to think we can have those type of people, we're all going to eat. We want to work to make sure that the bump card is Uber. The bump card is Windex. Somebody sees something coming from somewhere else, they initially take the attitude of, that's a knockoff bump card. We get to that level, it's over for all of us. That's what I am working for. That's what we should all be working for. And it only comes from sharing the information. I appreciate you giving me the time to share this message with everybody, Ron. I hope this information helps you guys with, strategies or different ways you can put it in front of people. I hope to be able to come back on again. There's some more stuff that I have, some ideas that like this. My man was like, I'm walking around with a CD and a cassette tape chained around my neck. You don't have to do that. But I ain't mad at you, but you don't have to do that. But we're going to be coming up with a lot more things to share, and I'm uber excited, guys. Thank you very much. I love all of you, and I appreciate your time tonight.
Thank you, Chase. I really appreciate it. But listen, I got just a couple questions if you don't mind.
No, talk to me.
Okay, so during your process of your thinking, and I really appreciate your, and I don't mean anything by it, but your simple thinking. I appreciate that because
I understand. Thank you.
It makes people understand exactly what we're doing and how this works, because
right.
I think you're right. I think you hit on something. I really think that we get into that mode and that presence of selling. And right. That's okay, because even though if we share it with them and give some determination between what we used to do and how we were, right. We're still selling. In a sense, we're still selling. But right. You said something that really means something to me. Something you said was this. Do you want to give them this that tells them where to go find out about you?
Yes.
Or do you want to just hand them this to their phone that takes them directly to the information?
You know what, Ron? Let me tell you something. I think that one little piece right there is, for lack of better wording, the bump card, like, catchphrase or culture, or if there's one line that you're saying, that closing line, that however you want, the elevator speech. Well, what is it? Here's what it is. Do you want to give people a piece of information, taking them to where you want them to go, or a piece of paper, or do you want to take them directly into the information? That's what that is. And what you see on your phone I just brought up is the information you're taking them to. If everybody just adopted that right there and then started to add your own, whatever your personality and what people expect from you, because if you got a bunch of friends, you're not going to call your friends all of a sudden and be like, start asking them multi-level marketing questions. Hey, are you open to stop? You don't call me, man, your team lost Sunday. I'm ready to rag you about that. Like, don't get into all of that stuff. Be yourself. But in being yourself, you're able to say, I came across something that really just made sense to me. And here's what made sense. It makes more sense to take people directly to my information than give them a piece of paper telling them where to go. And I tell you what, Ron, you said something on one of the other calls that really struck me. How many times when you pick business cards, you don't just go put your name and information on there. You spend time, all right, do I want this ridge? Do I want the foil? Do I want the green? Ooh, I like that feature. That's an extra $5. You know what I mean? And you're at, because you know the card you're presenting to someone says a little something about you. If you give somebody a card that looks like your third grader made it, talking about, hey, yeah, let me detail your car, I don't think so. But if you give somebody a card that opens up and has lights and everything in it, then it's like, oh, wow, this person took some time to put into their presentation. So you're more likely. So your business card does speak something about yourself, Ron.
Yeah.
You're screaming and hollering and shouting. You're covered with Christmas lights. You got a Christmas tree hat with this thing, with what you're saying about your business. So even if you add that part to it, what your business card says about you and what you're trying to say, it's a no-brainer, man.
Are you trying to say that we've actually taken a business card and turned it into a sexy business card?
Yo, Ron, I was with a company, or not with a company. I tried to get recruited into a company, and the guy tried to say to me, we're making credit the new sexy. I was like, really? Like, you can't come up with a better line than we're making buy. Because if that's the best you got, I can't help you, dog. But yes, that's really what you're doing. Here's what to me separates this. It is the transition, Ron.
Yeah.
It's the transition.
Yeah.
It's a big step to take people from this to figuring out a way to introduce them to the business card or to the digital platform. You guys have said, instead of taking them away from giving cards, let's just let them continue to use a card. We'll just give them a card to use in this COVID environment. They don't have to hand out, but it's still a card, and they can tap it and get whatever. And then after they understand 1 + 1 is 2, then we can go ahead and show them the ring, which really takes them off of the whole card thinking. But you guys are the first ones to come up with the understanding of how important it is to just hold someone's hand and walk them to the next level. Because folks, we'd have to sell this. If this was the foundation for what we had, yes, we got to sell it. This, we don't. This is telling the truth because it's very close to this, and it allows us to use that line. Give them something that takes them to it, or take them right to it.
And then the last thing, Chase, and we'll get off of here, but you had mentioned about when you share your card with somebody, when you bump a phone, you go to them and go, look, now hit this button and download to your contacts. You'll see it in there. For those of you that don't know, when you download the contacts and you go open that contact again, you can see websites and emails and stuff that go to that contact. And down below there, you'll see that bump card URL that's in there. So what you're saying is you click that and go, listen, click that. And if you want to send me a message, hit send my text or whatever. But so exactly what you were saying right there, so people understand, because that is a key point, because you're getting them functioning into the card.
Right, and that is exactly what I'm talking about. That's one of the things I realized.
You can do that also by phone. If I'm talking to Chase on the phone going, here, I'm going to send you my link. He clicks and goes, are you looking at it? Yeah, I see it. Click
hit download contact.
You know, you can walk them through on the phone. You don't have to be in person. You know, people think, well, we got to do it in person. No, you don't. No, you do not. You do not.
Right.
And then one of the, again, the last thing is this. I like what you say about you don't have a choice. It's going to come here with you or without you. The choice is, when do you want to get involved with it? When?
Right. If you wait, you have the opportunity to take CDs to your cassette-happy friends and capitalize off of it, or let them wait and go buy CDs from, like I said, the Apple or the checkout at, you know, at the Best Buy or something like that. And to piggyback off of what you said, Ron, about the way I bump people, you know where I got that idea? You. And it's really just multiple exposures. So you're able to hit them with 2 or 3 exposures to show them 2 or 3 different features about it, just that quick. And then you're encouraging them to, when you want to text me, go back to the bump card. So it's getting them used to seeing the bump card, which gives them new and updated. Folks, change the color of your bump card every couple of days. Like, do something. You just go click a button, change the color, keep it moving. So that way, when people come back, it's something very, oh, this is different. Oh, this is different than the last time. So they're expecting to see new information, and it wants them to come back. Every time they go back, it's a new exposure. And Ron is the one that taught me exposure, exposure, exposure. That is an easy way to hit them with multiple exposures, just like that, Ron. So I got that
Agreed.
from you.
Agree. I appreciate that. And Shanta, yes, we don't clean or waterproof, but I wear mine in the shower all the time. It never, it works. It never stops working. So there you go. Listen, I want to thank everybody for showing up here on Tuesday night. I really do. And I do want to wish everybody a happy and safe Thanksgiving. I really mean that, because Thanksgiving is something that's really, really important to me. It really is. And again, Chase, I got too many Chazes and Chases. But listen, I thank you so much for coming out here and doing this for everybody. You know, one thing that I find that's important in the Bump Card family, as I call it.
Yes.
Look, I've been involved in this industry for 29 years. You already know this, Chase. And there's people out there that are great leaders and do great things. And they don't do these things like this. They don't come share their information. They keep that between them and their team.
Right.
Okay, but it takes a special person to want to come out and just share it with everybody. It just does. And that person has the company in mind, not just their team. Because a lot of leaders do this. They'll come up with a great system. They'll come up with a great thing. They'll come up with a great one-liner, and they want to keep it to themselves. And I'll tell you why. Because most leaders go, well, I can use that to recruit everybody into my team. If they're looking at somebody else, I can go, well, if you come to me, you can have this. It's the only way you can get it.
And that's separation. We don't want that.
See, that,
wow.
Guys, you got to know something. When I asked Chase to do this, no questions asked. Okay, no problem. No problem. And I appreciate that about you, Chase. I appreciate
not a
you
problem,
doing
but I appreciate you giving me the opportunity. Like I said, it's the Bump Card family. Nobody wins if there are 4,000 bump cards on the street in 5 years. Nobody wins. You know what I mean? We get 4 million bump cards on the street in 5 years by working together. Everybody wins. So it's just a no-brainer for me. So thank you.
With that one right there, I got nothing else to say.
Hey, let's eat, Ron.
Good night, everybody. Appreciate you being here. Listen, we are done for the week, except for tomorrow night. We have the Strive for 5 call. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not on Strive for 5, go get your 5 and get in that private group. This is where 11 of us was exposed to this man when he started talking this way, and that's why we're giving it to you tonight. If you're not in Strive for 5, you need to get there, so great things happen there. Good night, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Have a great week. We'll see Strive for 5ers tomorrow night. Good night, everybody.